everyone. So I'm just sharing with you my view from riding Gemini, and he's standing still and being such a good boy. And I'm riding him English. Now this is the third time I've ever ridden him English, and also the third time I've ever ridden him bitless in our western side pole. So we're starting off by warming up, and it's really important to treat your horse like the athlete that they are and spend at least 10 to 15 minutes warming them up before you start really riding. We want to make sure our horse's body is warmed up, their muscles, joints, and legs are really ready to begin our workout, and also helps them mentally get prepared for what's ahead with your ride. And so we're walking around, and don't forget that your warm-up also includes the trot. And so here we are doing posting trot. I love posting trot because I'm taking my weight off my horse's back. A few strides of the canter, and our canter needs a little bit of work, as you can tell, but there we are doing it. And so the first exercise we're going to work on is a serpentine pattern with the ground poles. So you're going to place anywhere from 3 to 4 ground poles in a straight line, in a nice vertical line, pretty far apart. And this is a great exercise for lead changes at the canter, as well as balance and straightness as well. So as I walk you through this exercise, I'm starting off by looking to my right. Remember, you always want to look where you would like your horse to go. And we're trying to aim for the center of each pole. So I'm looking straight ahead, making sure I'm using my seat to gently rock forward, really trying to almost point my hips straight until I'm ready to make that turn, looking to my left, opening up my inside left rein and my inside leg, asking him to move into the turn, and then aiming for the center of the pole as well. So I'm looking straight ahead, making sure I'm using my seat and my leg cues to keep him straight underneath of me. And then I'm looking to my right over that last pole, opening up my right inside rein and my right inside leg, and aiming for the center as well. Now, also, I did not do this exercise at a trot because my arena is actually quite narrow. It's about like the whole size of my arena is probably 75 by 100 feet. If your arena is wider, you can definitely do this exercise at a trot. But when we tried it at a trot, it was really hard to make those super sharp turns for him and I. So we just stuck with it at the walk. And this next exercise is called the pinwheel of death. And yes, that sounds very dramatic, but it can feel like the pinwheel of death if you do it at a canter. So this is a great exercise for balance and bending. And bending is really important for your horse because it teaches them how to flex their bodies, how to get really supple, and also is a great exercise to teach your horse how to collect as well. So as I'm going around, once again, I'm focusing on aiming for the center of each pole, and I'm trying to keep my horse's body on an arch. So I'm using my left inside leg to push straight into his side. I'm really asking his rib cage to bend around my inside leg. And then if I'm not really feeling too much bend, I can kind of help to encourage him to bend his body by gently bumping my left inside rein. So I'm just gently kind of pulling, bumping that left rein back while I'm applying my inside leg to ask his nose to kind of tip into our circle. I'm really just looking for a slight little bend in my horse's body. So we're going around at the walk. It's really good to do this at the walk to get the horse used to the pattern and really understanding what you're doing before you move into trot. Asking him for trot here, and I'm focusing on the same thing as well. Now, I'm smiling and kind of laughing here because Gemini likes to tap the ground pole with his back legs. He doesn't always lift his back legs very high, but I'm focusing on remaining consistent with what I'm doing, with the goal and the hope that my horse will follow consistent underneath of me. So I'm just going to keep a consistent rhythm with my posting trot, and he's going to figure out that if he does something silly underneath of me, I'm still going to be consistent, and he's going to be able to just follow my lead. So I'm just going around, still focusing on a little bit of a bend, and also before I go over each pole, I'm gently lifting my hand, not lifting, I'm moving my hands forward by about an inch or two to allow his neck to really stretch over the ground pole and kind of see where he's going. If you have a horse that trips over ground poles, you also can lift them up a little bit. That can be helpful too, to teach them to pick up their legs. And then he started to get into his flow state and really move over them nicely. And then I asked for walk. He gives me a really nice transition, so he gets lots of pets. And then we change direction. Now, it's really important that you always ride your horse going both directions. We never want our horses to get one-sided or stronger on one side than the other. Just like if you were at the gym and you were working on an exercise, you wouldn't only do the exercise with your right leg, you'd also want to do it with your left and vice versa to build equal strength on both sides. So we changed direction, and this is actually the direction that we both travel better in. At the trot, you can't really quite notice it as much as you can at the canter. Fun fact is every rider and every horse has a direction that they travel a little bit better in. Sometimes it's a bit more noticeable, other times it's not, but for me, I've always struggled a little bit more going counterclockwise than I do going clockwise. At this point, Gemini's like, oh my gosh, Mom, how many circles can we do? I know how to bend. At this point, he was really nicely trotting over the ground poles without hitting them with his back leg, so I was really happy with how he was picking up his feet. I was a horseback riding instructor for several years. This was an exercise I really liked my more advanced students to work on because it really taught them both balance in themselves as a rider as well as teaching balance and bending in the horse. So for this next exercise, I don't have a diagram for it, but it's pretty simple. Put 4 or more ground poles in random places around your arena and kind of treat it like a jumping course, except for you do not have a plan of which pole you're going to go over. Just pick a random pole to steer your horse over. This is an excellent exercise for horses that are usually not really with you, that are not very focused, and can get them really concentrating on you and your cues. And it's a fun one too. Once again, you can do it at the walk, trot, or the canter. And that was our first ride for the Turkey Trot Challenge. I hope that you guys enjoyed and learned some new ground pole exercises. If you decide to try any of these out with your horse, I would love to hear about how it all went in the comment box below. And keep in mind, this is in collaboration with Fox Run Farm. They host incredible challenges that you can do with your horse and be a part of a very supportive, kind-hearted equestrian community, which I highly recommend. And if you'd like to check out both their website and their Facebook page, they'll be in the description box below. Be sure to like and subscribe because there'll be many more riding videos to come. Thank you guys for watching. Bye!